a very good day to everyone. My name is Intan Maizura Arzimi from University Technology Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur. I am presenting the paper entitled An Integrated Metamodel for Enterprise Architecture Using Open Government Data Approach, a Conceptual Framework. Along the way preparing this paper, here are our research aims. The research problem: Malaysian public sector as the biggest social entities with a high data complexity, high data demand creates massive data collection and management. The research aim: investigate the possibility to integrate between the open government data metadata structure in the context of problems and challenge with the enterprise architecture metamodel. The research scope is Malaysian public sector conceptual framework between the government enterprise architecture metamodel and the open government data. This is our enterprise architecture. This is our government enterprise architecture. The enterprise architecture defined as the business process management in the large-scale organization with the understanding of the information system supporting the business function. To develop the established of government enterprise architecture, there are several processes need to go through, such as familiarize the concept and functionalities towards understanding, planning, and implementation. Certainly, during the planning and implementation of government enterprise architecture, modeling process become crucial. Modeling approach, modeling tools such as Archimate and Metamodel become important to visualize the clear artifacts that can assist the organization to identify its various organization facets among the business, data, application, and the information layer to achieve the organizational goals and objectives. This is the Malaysian Enterprise Architecture Framework. It was launched in 2014. The principle being developed to initiate the EA practice in Malaysia. It is a set of fundamental, overarching architectural standards that support the development of standardized and consistent architecture across the organization. This My Government EA principle consists of general, business, data, application, and technology. It is a new way of approaching the business and technology to be aligned together and established as a single view of the current business and technical environment for the particular public sector organization. One of the most related principles integrating this My Government EA towards Malaysian open government data is data can be shared and accessible unless it is confidential. This principle as the basis for the continuity of our study utilizing the government enterprise architecture in open government data. This is our Malaysian public sector ICT framework towards the Malaysian government digitalization. Malaysian Digital Transformation and E-Government program requires the integration between the agencies in the context of business and ICT, preparing the useful data and information for the decision-making towards achieving the goals to provide the seamless service to the citizens and help the country economic and social growth. We can see here the EA were located on top of the enabling ecosystem, while the data-driven as the strategic trust described to manage and realize the value of data in a holistic and efficient manner. One of the components of data-driven is the Malaysian open government data. Even though EA and data-driven represent the different functionalities in the government sectors, both of it is still holding the same goals towards government in digital transformation. Government Enterprise Architecture and Open Government Data Initiative were introduced in 2014 and become parts of Malaysian Public Sector ICT Strategic Plan in 2016 until 2020, main agenda to support the 11 Malaysian Plan. Along the way in this study, we define the issue between both My Government EA and Malaysian Open Government Data. Not yet exists a specific Government Enterprise Architecture Metamodel data layer that utilize OGD, which are able to face the Malaysian Open Government Data quality challenge such as lack of data integration between the agencies, data owner keep on updating data manually, repeated process, and the government data policy is not gazetted yet. On top of the My Government enterprise architecture, also facing the increasing number of IT applications in silos at every government agencies. This serves the similar functionalities, especially data collection. Redundancy in cost, technology, and even IT experts are wasted fulfilling the management requests developing the new application. In this paper, we are adapting the design research methodology by Havner to design the conceptual framework on the Metamodel to utilize in open government data. The problem identified shows that both MyGovEA and OGD are having the same responsibility in obtaining data objects, dataset to be interpreted and providing valuable data to the citizen. Finally, we found that even though in both of the domain, MyGovEA and OGD holding their different role in a context of technical perspective, but still the end product supplying the valuable techniques and data collection to support the decision-making process and contributes to the country's economic growth. 5 databases were used to conduct the literature review: Scopus, Science Direct, Web of Science, IEEE, and Google Scholar. The keywords used for this is enterprise architecture, open government data, integrated. Then the Boolean used is AND. The most essential information requires is the integration between the both of these GEA and open government data. We decided to use this Archimate Metamodel to be mapped towards open government data problem and challenge. This Archimate Metamodel currently adopted by the open group interconnecting the business application and technology in a top-down view of the actors. The reason we chose this metamodel, it built the easy and understand model which will help the existing and develop the new form flow of integration organizational functional process. The open government data problem and challenge classified will be mapped accordingly to the responsibility layer towards extending the detailed metamodel in future. Based on our keyword searching, which is related to the topic of integration and domain public sector, MyGovEA and OGD, we found the essential information described that the most of the study on OGD highlighted the main problem and challenges affecting the OGD initiative, and there are 2 studies highlighted the most similar OGD problem and challenges. Based on the researcher's perspective, conclude having a similar understanding of OGD problem and challenges categorized such as organizational, policy and legal, economic and financial. Citizens and cultural were combined as one category as some of the perspectives of the study are similar. Only the study on paper OGD using by Malaysian highlight the data quality problem as a part of the perspective, while the technology as category problems and challenges related to service deliverables. Each of these category problems and challenges still arise need to find a way to reduce and resolve. Finally, the OGD problems and challenges identified were mapped accordingly on top of the generic Archimate Metamodel that highlights a similar problem and challenge category mapped on top of the EA aspect, which is business, application, and technology. The categories of organizational, policy and legal, economic, and financial suitable to be located at the EA business level. It is suitable to be mapped at this level as the categories are still stated at the strategic view. The citizens' culture are closely related. They are the people and team accessing their data through the application. The problem and challenges related to this category should be placed at this level as a total solution to data usability. Only 2 studies touch on the problem and challenges of data quality as a poor data quality that may be ubiquitous and can impede the successful reuse of open data. The data collection process now forces data owner facing off updating data repeatedly. This requires the new data management techniques to be created at this level. Finally, technical problems and challenges related to infrastructure, hardware, software readiness are placed at this EA technology level. The set of new conceptual framework is proposing to bridge both EA and open government data to illustrate the new collaboration between both domains, predefining and analyzing the clear problem statement by referring the problem and challenges category mapped towards each level as the guideline that will help the researchers and practitioners to develop the appropriate detailed metamodel and metadata to reduce and overcome each category problems and challenge. Finally, as discussion, Malaysian Open Government Data as an initiative connected to the Digital Economy Transformation Program, launched to embed with the Malaysian government's national agenda the sharing sets of data and civilians can freely access. This dataset is growing from 115 to 12,955 in the Malaysian Open Government Data Portal, shows that the effort of the practitioner towards data sharing available to the citizens are actively ongoing, promoted and run, even though the data need to be updated manually repeatedly. My Government EA consists of the blueprint, which includes the EA framework focused on business process, solution and technology, methodology and implementation plan. The people factors with significant EA talent and expert also plays a vital role to ensure this integration can be understood and developed in the future. Some other how, both of my government enterprise architecture and Malaysian Open Government Data enroll a similar role must produce valuable data collection technique for decision making towards social and economic growth. Last but not least, on the conclusion and the future works. The integration between EA and OGD is still new in any government initiative. Integration among the ICT tools and infrastructure across the EA domain and other become more significant topics to be highlighted. Open government data problems and challenges are highlighted to enable the opportunity to detail research on the integration process between the EA and other domains. The conceptual model should assist the practitioner and academician to initiate the detailed study on the integration process between the government EA and OGD in the public sector to reduce redundancy of data management and increase the service deliverables performance to the citizens and across the public and the private sector. The future study will take into action in the context of implementation and modeling the specific metamodel on each level, the integration between the government enterprise architecture and open government data. That's all for my presentation. Thank you for this opportunity. We move to the Q&A session.
Thank you. Is there anyone from here that going to have some questions? Yep. Please.
Okay. Thank you for the time, Mrs. Intan. Hello.
Yes.
I'm really interested in your research, but I want to make sure. So you have made a conceptual framework which has not been implemented yet.
Yes.
Oh, okay. And I'm really interested to look forward to how this framework can be implemented in the real life. But I have one question. Maybe this is just editorial problem. At your presentation, you stated that you referred to two previous works and you mark it as number 17 and 12.
Number 10, something
yeah,
like number 10. Yeah.
At your another slides, you used the 28 and 38, if I'm not mistaken. Is that still the same reference you use or what?
Oh, maybe it's yeah, it's still the same reference. Yeah.
Still the same reference.
Yeah.
Okay. I will look forward to read your paper. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Fikri.
Quick questions. The open government data, obviously we're going to have some privacy issue. Unfortunately, in the paper, you didn't mention the privacy except just small, like just award privacy issue, the data protection, and then that's it. None of
Okay.
this discussed actually, because with the open government data, definitely some privacy issue will be there, right?
Yeah.
So how do you handle the privacy issue in the framework that you propose? Because I don't see anything there that talk about the privacy.
Yes, actually, currently for this proposal, we are focused on the conceptual of the framework in terms of the Metamodel. In terms of the privacy issue, it will be handled by the Malaysian Open Government Data itself, the other divisions. So that's why in this conceptual, actually, we are going to propose to our government about the integration between this open government data and our enterprise architecture team. Most of the privacy issue is being handled by the team of the Open Malaysian Government Data.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's give a quick applause to Intan.
Thank you.
Thank you.